chai latte garbage disposal fresheners? Who ever heard of that? Stay tuned and I'll show you how to make them.
Hi, I'm Sherry, and this is Buddy, top dog of Lucky Dog Creations.
Hello friends, today we're going to be doing another DIY garbage disposal refresher. Now most people will be using some form of citrus in their garbage disposal to freshen it up, and that's fine. In fact, I just did a video on a citrus one. But this one is totally different and I'm really excited about it. It is a chai latte garbage disposal refresher. And what else is different about it is that it will be granules that you put into your disposal instead of like an ice cube or a tablet. So let's get started, shall we? The first thing that we are going to use is going to be 3/4 cup of sea salt. And the sea salt that I'm going to use is just your everyday table sea salt that I bought at Walmart. 3/4 cup of sea salt. And the next ingredient is going to be chai tea. And these are the tea bags, and you're going to be using 1/4 cup, which actually figures out to be about 8 tea bags. 1/4 cup chai tea. And then I'm going to go ahead and stir that up and mix it thoroughly. Now the sea salt is a gentle scouring agent, and it acts as a catalyst for other ingredients like vinegar to boost the cleaning and deodorizing. And the chai tea is for the freshness, and it's going to smell wonderful. And next we're going to use white vinegar. Vinegar is acidic and it will help dissolve icky buildups such as soap scum and hard water stains. So we're going to be using 1/4 cup of white vinegar. And we'll just pour that in and stir that around. And we want it to absorb almost completely before we add the baking soda, because vinegar and baking soda react and it will foam up, and we don't want it to foam up. And then the last ingredient is going to be the baking soda. And baking soda is a mild alkali that causes dirt and grime to dissolve in water for easy removal. So we're going to use 1 cup of baking soda. And go ahead and get this all stirred up. Break up all the clumps. And there is no foaming, which is what we wanted to prevent. And I'll be right back after I get it all mixed up. And here we have it. Now this ingredient doesn't have like the binding ingredients such as cornstarch in it to make it stay into a shape. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to be putting them into a silicone mold just to let them dry a little bit before I put them into a jar. And you want to let them dry long enough that they kind of get a crust on the top, but they're still going to be crumbly underneath. So I'll go ahead and just do like we do the bath bombs, just stick them in there and pat them down. I may try to do this recipe with adding cornstarch to it to see if it will form into a disc that we can use. But for today, we'll just follow the recipe that I found online. Now I am going to do the same recipe, only instead of using the chai tea, I am going to just use the ingredients that make up the chai tea. The black tea, the cardamom, the cinnamon, etc. And I'll go over all of that in just a little bit. Okay, I'll go ahead and finish filling this up and I'll show you how many it makes. All right, so it made 22 discs, even though that doesn't matter because we'll be taking them out and putting them into a 6-ounce jar. I'm not sure how many of those will make. We'll find out after they dry. You want to make sure that they are pressed down so they can dry. I didn't get them completely filled in some of them, but again, since they're going to be going into a jar, it won't matter. So while we are waiting for this to dry, I'll go ahead and make the same recipe using real seasonings that you have in your pantry. Okay, so now we are ready to do the other alternative to the chai latte garbage disposal refreshener using the actual spices. The first ingredient is 3/4 cup sea salt. And again, sea salt is a gentle scouring agent that acts as a catalyst for other ingredients like vinegar to boost cleaning and deodorizing. 3/4 cups sea salt. Okay, next we're going to be going ahead and using the spices that you can get out of your pantry. And what that consists of is 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cloves, and 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. And I also did 1/4 cup of black tea, which was about 10 bags of tea. And we'll also be using 10 drops of ginger root essential oil and 20 drops of cinnamon bark. And that should give it a nice chai latte smell to it. So I have all of the spices and the tea mixed together, and we'll go ahead and dump that in. And I thought I got regular black tea, and it ended up being black tea with orange rind and sweet spice, but that should just make it smell a little bit better. And get that all mixed up. And 10 drops of ginger root. And 20 drops of cinnamon bark. And stir that so it's has the essential oils throughout. Oh, it smells really good. I might just put some in like a little sachet bag and put it in like a lingerie drawer or something. It smells really good. And then you're going to add the 1/4 cup of the vinegar. And again, we're adding this first before we add the baking soda so they won't activate. And the vinegar helps with the icky buildup such as soap scum and hard water stains. I'll go ahead and put that in. And you want to mix it all up so most of the moisture is absorbed so it will not foam when we add the baking soda. And with all those extra spices and stuff, it's going to be a little bit darker. I'm excited for this one. And then 1 cup of baking soda. And baking soda is a mild alkali that will help dissolve the dirt and grime when mixed with water. 1 cup baking soda. and mix that until it's thoroughly mixed, breaking up any clumps when you find them. And I'll be right back after I get it all mixed. Okay, and again we are going to make this into the granules. I'm going to go ahead and put them in a silicone mold to let them dry part way before we go ahead and put them in the jars. And again, you want it to be like damp sand, so it'll have the consistency we want when it dries. And we'll go ahead and put them in and fill them up. And pat them down nice and tight. And again, when they form like a crust on top, you'll know that they're dry enough that we can go ahead and take them out and put them in the little jars. Okay, so they made 12 bigger discs, and we'll go ahead and let them dry. When they get a crust on top, I will know that they are good enough to put into the little jars. And that should take, you know, a couple of hours to 6 hours, depending on how fast, you know, with the humidity and whatnot in your house. The top is hard. If I try to push it out, it crumbles and falls apart. So we're just going to be putting these in a bowl, and then we'll go ahead and put them into the little plastic 6-ounce jars. And there we have it. And we'll just go ahead and break up all the pieces. Now this recipe filled 3.5 6-ounce jars. And this is the one with just the chai tea in it. So let's do the other one with the spices. And here are the ones with the actual spices in it. And it is firm on the outside. You pop it out and it falls apart. So again, we'll go ahead and put it into the bowl, break them up, and then put them into jars. And there we have it. It looks like sand, but it actually smells kind of like a spice cake. And here's the jar. I am using a glass jar for this because this one does have essential oils, and anytime that you use essential oils, you should have it either in an amber or glass jar. And we'll go ahead and fill that up. So the chai spiced ones made 2 4-ounce and 1 12-ounce, and then part of a little 6-ounce plastic one. And I know I said put them in the glass ones, but I'm just going to go ahead, and this is the one I'm going to put down the disposal, so it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and go over there and see how well it works. All right, so what we are going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the one made out of the chai tea, and I'm going to just put a couple of spoonfuls into the garbage disposal. Then I'm going to run some water and then turn on the garbage disposal. I won't talk during that because it is going to be a little bit loud and you won't be able to hear me. Okay, and it did spit back a little bit. Normally I have a little bit of cover, so I won't do that, but it does smell good. And next we're going to go ahead and put in a couple of spoonfuls of the spiced chai. Do the same thing. Put in about 3 spoonfuls. Turn on the water and then the disposal. And you do want to put a silica gel pad in each one of these to absorb the excess moisture. These would also be good just to dump down your drain to freshen your drain as well. And there you have the chai latte garbage disposal freshener with 2 different recipes. They did work fairly well. They didn't foam or anything. And then I didn't run the garbage disposal as long as it probably should have. After I shut the camera off, I went ahead and ran it again, and then you could really smell the fragrance. So I do think this is good if you like something different besides citrus. Let's get started, shall we? And the next ingredient is going to be Thai tea. Now, vinegar is acidic, and it is, if you like this video, please subscribe. Hit the bell so you can get notices of my future videos. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comments and suggestions are always welcome. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.